Hi, pre-prep. This is Miss Graham from the Misty Copeland classroom. This week we have been talking about collecting some different recyclables or maybe some things from drawers you might find. And we've been talking a lot about organizing and counting them. And I wanted to show you some different ways that you might want to sort your objects in your collections. So when we talk about sorting, we're thinking about ways that our objects could match somehow. So the great thing about sorting is that you can get really creative with it and you can organize and categorize your objects in many different ways. So I'm going to show you a few ways that I'm going to organize and sort my objects. And then at home, you can go ahead and sort your objects however many different ways you can find. So I'm going to tilt my camera down so you can see how I'm going to organize and sort my collection. So the first thing that I was thinking about when I was looking at my objects and my collections here is I have some that are kind of circular and kind of round, and then I have some that kind of remind me a bit of a stick or have more of like a straight line to them. So the first way I'm going to organize these is by their shape. So I have my yogurt cups, and those are pretty round. And I have all of my jars from my lids from my jars. They're round too. They're circular. They go around and around. So I'm going to put those together. And now I'm taking a look at these soda tabs, and I'm noticing they're not perfect circles, but they do have some round curves on them. So I think they kind of match the circles and the shapes that we see over here. Now, I found this little bottle cap. And this is a perfect circle, so I'm going to put it with my other circles. But I'm looking at my candles, and these are straight. I don't really think of them as being round. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put them on another side over here. This one, like I said before too, it reminds me of a stick. It's pretty straight as well, so I'm going to put it with my candles. Now rubber bands, if you put them on the table, they're pretty round as well. They're not perfect circles, but they're pretty curvy. So I'm going to put them with my round objects over here. And then lastly, my clothespins. These, I kind of think of them as straight lines mostly. So I'm going to put them over here too. So now I have two different ways that I've sorted my objects. I have my straighter objects over here, ones that remind me of a stick or a straight line. And then I have my curved objects over here, or ones that are circular in shape. So another way I could organize all of my objects in my collections are their colors. So I'm noticing there's a lot of different colors here. So I'm going to choose one to start with. This is kind of unique. These are a wooden color, and I don't think I have anything else over here made out of wood, but I do notice that these have the little silver connectors over here, and that kind of reminds me of the color of our soda tabs. So maybe I'll put my soda tabs with my clothespins over here because they both have this shiny silver metal on it. So I think these are going to be my first color, my silver objects. Now I'm taking a look at my one twist tie, and this is the color green. So let me see what else I have that's green over here. I'm noticing two lids that are both green. So I can put those together over here. Now, I see some other lids over here that have some different colors on them. I see this one, it has this bright red side, and I'm noticing it reminds me of my bright red rubber bands. So I'm going to put those together over here. And I also see two of my yogurt cups have red fruit on them, a strawberry and a raspberry. So I'm going to put that over here with my red objects. Now I have this yellow lid, and I'm noticing I also have these yellow candles, so I'm going to put those together over there. I don't see anything else that's orange, so I'm going to leave my candles with themselves in this orange pile right here. But I'm noticing I have this little blue cap and this blue lid, and I have a blueberry yogurt cup. So I'm going to put all of my blue objects back over here. So this is how I can organize all of my collections, all of my objects by their colors. Now, I'm going to do one more that I think can be pretty fun. And I'm thinking about some of these objects, they can change their shapes. But some of these objects, they're really hard. They're not going to change their shapes. And so I'm thinking about the ones that are a little flexible, like this twist tie. I can change it into whatever shape I want, like this little circle or oval. And I'm thinking about maybe some rubber bands. They're pretty bouncy, right? So I can make them straight or I can leave them curved. And let's see. I see one other thing that changes shape. Clothespins, because I can open and close them. So they move, they change their shape. So those things I'm thinking about, my twist tie, my rubber band, my clothespins, those all change shapes. And I can move them and bend them and make something else out of them. But my yogurt cups, my jar lids, they're pretty hard, they're pretty firm. They're not really changing shapes at all. So maybe I'll put all of these back together, because those are circles, they're not changing. These are really hard too. I can't bend these, I can't make them change shapes. So these I cannot make change shapes. These objects, I can make them change a bit. I can open it, I can stretch it, I can bend it. But my candles are kind of interesting because right now they're not changing shapes. But maybe if I lit my candle and it burned down, it would change shape. It would get a little shorter, right? So I have 3 different piles here. My objects that aren't changing shapes, my objects that I can change their shapes, and pretty easily. And then these are my objects that they could change if we had a lighter to light them. So the best thing I love about sorting objects is that you can do it in so many different ways and you can get really creative with it. So I hope you have fun at home sorting all of your objects in your collections.